Hey, how are you doing? Welcome to Truck Driver Nation. My name is George. I'm going to be the person hosting the overall presentation today. I'm going to let you know straight out the gate that this presentation is an hour and 14 minutes long. By the time you get done, if you don't have an understanding of what we are doing for you, then we just might have a problem because we did our absolute best going through this and to present you everything. So you got a concise idea from A to Z, what it entails as far as learning the course, going to work for us, and everything. So you might have to take this in bites, possibly. Hopefully, you can get through it in one watching. But this makes it easier to get the information out there because we got so many people from so many directions needing to have the meeting, and they're just not able to make it to the webinars. But anyways, I hope this helps you out, and I appreciate it. And please enjoy the presentation. If there's anything you see missing, we love comments, and so we can improve what we do. But definitely thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy it, and we hope to hear from you after you complete the presentation. Thank you so much. Now, what are we? We are a dispatch company that provides online training course for individuals looking for home-based truck dispatching jobs and careers with a guaranteed direct hire with our company after you have successfully completed the course. Now, our affiliate program also offers resellers a great way to earn top dollars from home, and we'll go over the affiliate program in the back. But once you finish the course, you're already employed, okay? We've got you already a position with our company. We're going to actually get you started before we even reach the end because I know how important it is that everybody starts generating revenue. But the only thing I tell you this, before we get any deeper, you're going to get out of this what you put into it. Okay, this is dispatching. There's no easy get out of jail type of free cards. It's still work. Okay, but the advantage of it for a lot of people is like, what is it going to be mean? What is it going to mean to you? The things I can tell you that what we're offering is basically the work from home, a support system of being mentored after you complete this program, a whole network that's already been set up from years and years of experience through the logistics community, a complete database of professional truck drivers that you have access to in the logistics community through freight dispatching because you're the crossroads and your number one tool that makes the money is our drivers. Our men and women work really hard on these trucks. So as we go through, you'll see the importance, not just in this short presentation. This is not going to give you the in-depth um, reflection and the overall respect for what I'm talking about yet, unless you're already in trucking. But once we get done and we get into the course, you'll see how important they are and why these folks are going to be your best friends. You're going to build some solid friendships and relationships in this community as you proceed into being a freight dispatcher. Now, people, you've heard it a million times. People say, we're here for you when you need us the most, right? I've never had a lot of people in this life be anywhere when I needed them. What I can tell you, we're here when you need us because it's not a one-way relationship when it comes to logistics. This is a family. Everybody needs each other because when you have a hard time finding that freight, and those days do happen, you can reach out because you've built a network of solid logistic professionals that you can lean back onto. Now, obviously, we're here. You do get a 90-day mentorship after you actually complete and have successfully passed the test for the course, as well as being boarded, having a direct hire with us. But just remember, when it comes to this, the number one thing is communication, communication, communication. If you just reach out only when you need something, there's more than just needing to find a load for a truck. As we go through this, and especially when we get in the course, you're going to see how dynamic this being a freight dispatcher is. You are the crossroads between everybody, the shipper, the broker, the driver, the carrier that you work for. You are a very important piece of the puzzle that makes logistics work. Now, let me tell you, if you work from home, truck dispatch course with direct hire after completion is a blessing. There's so many dispatchers out there that they do these courses and they can't get no job if they get none. It's because the people that were teaching them didn't care to begin with. I come from transportation. This is what I've done. This is my career. So when I'm telling you, you got direct hire, I need to know who you are while we're teaching the course. I need to know what your expectations are because we've got to get you there together. I can't just get you there by guessing and looking at an application. You've got to be interactive with the course and let me understand what you're needing, or you're gonna come out the other end highly disappointed. You get out of this what you put into it. Now, let's just give you the word dispatcher, okay? When you're talking about dispatcher, you're really talking about the carrier. Unless you're going to be an independent, what we call is a independent dispatcher, when you're doing your own dispatcher service, that's one thing. But for the most part, most people are going to be involved with a carrier. When we're talking about carrier, we're talking about a fleet of trucks. So a dispatcher job is to schedule the drivers for the on-time and on-time delivery of these loads, okay? Whether it's on appointment or it's on an open-ended schedule, you got to make sure that they're getting there to the customers and the vendors because what we provide is a service. We don't provide a product. We don't build nothing. We don't make nothing. We only provide the service of getting people's product from point A to point B. Now, after completion of the course, you will be eligible for direct hire with our company as a work from home dispatch agent. So just remember this. Now, when I'm telling you that you're going to be working for a carrier, you're going to be from home. So the importance when you're looking at our course criteria, remember, you're not going nowhere. Nobody's going to train you once you are at your house. The same place where you learn this course, if you're actually learning from home, is going to be the same place that you're beginning your business. So every day that you get up and you're participating in the course is going to be the same place that you're going to be working for. So please make sure to get the absolute most out of the program as you can. Mentorship only covers so much. Being active in the class while you're actively learning this material is going to be one of the biggest point that's going to reflect what you achieve by the time you reach the end of the course. Now that I know, for one, you know that you're coming into and you're interested, the biggest factor is how much does a truck dispatcher earn? Because you're not coming in here just to hang out, and you're going to be surprised about how much you make. Now these numbers are going to be relatively, this about is about from average, like we're talking about national average to maybe a little on the better end. But deal is the dispatchers that I know because I've been in logistics so long, they make a lot more than this. But I got you some information. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so one of the biggest questions, like we're coming off that previous page, is really what can you start making? I mean, what are you going to be looking at making when you're a dispatcher? I mean, if you look right here, I pulled two examples. I pulled ZipRecruiter and I pulled Glassdoor. I tried to pull Indeed, but they just didn't have a flow chart that was giving me the overall value. I was looking at independent positions, and yeah, they did reflect correctly, but I needed some kind of flow that was given the overall market. So this is actually going to be 2024 numbers, right? So you're on ZipRecruiter, the way they reflect it is going to be basically $43 an hour, about $90,000 a year. And that's really good money, but that's not the best that you can do. There is, if you look right here, if you follow this chart, starting at the very bottom, that's probably somebody that just doesn't care. A majority of dispatchers really don't care. That's the problem that's within inside the logistics community. When you figure out that this is what you're going to do for a living, or it could be the person that you're employed by, I don't hold people back. I do my absolute best to make sure you're not even down there on that bottom. There's no reason for you to be there. If you listen and learn to what I'm teaching you, 30 plus years of doing this, I will get you up there. $90,000, I'm going to be so disappointed. If I'm actually mentoring you and you're doing $90,000 a year, then I have definitely failed you, okay? But you can do a lot more than this. You just have to give it the time, and we're not talking about a lot of time. You're talking about you didn't go to school for 4 years, get a degree, and then come doing this. I'm almost getting you this straight out the gate. But you got to do and stick with the routine of every day. Now, when I say routine, it's very diverse. It's not one routine day in and day out. You're going to have to be getting your own carriers, because once you go to work for a trucking company, they don't want to just sit there and hold your hand. They want something for what they're paying you. What am I giving you? What am I paying you $90,000 for, right? What am I getting for that $90,000 as a carrier? We have all the assets. We have everything that you needed. We have the name. Our business is out there. We have the freight lanes. We have the network of brokers that we're working with. So what are you bringing to the table to justify us giving you $90,000 plus a year, okay? The same thing when it goes to Glassdoor. Look at it. You're looking at 82,000. These are not the best numbers.
If you can look at there, I mean, you can easily get above 120, $150,000, but you've got to do it the way I'm telling you. If you don't, it's not going to happen. Listen to me. It will not happen if you do not listen to me. If you listen to me, you can get there. Do you have to be aggressive? Yes. Do you have to strategize? Yes. But remember, communicate, communicate, communicate. Relationships. I don't care if you don't like the people that you're dealing with, if you're dealing with a particular broker, but if he has the freight, you need to humble yourself down. Okay? Everybody running around like they're a prestigious American. This is 2024. You need to get in check. Okay. I'm giving you an opportunity where you're going to be able to go in. We're training you. We're putting you into a position where you're automatically going to have a job when you finish this program, and you're going to be making these type of numbers. You got to do what I'm saying. 20,000 per month, absolutely. That's bring home. You're 1099. You can do this. I'm not even sitting here playing with you for a second. This is 100% achievable. The only thing that makes it not achievable is your work ethic and your personality about how you approach the actual overall position and how you approach and you deal with people. If you don't have people skills, I would swear to you right now, shut this down. You're wasting your time. You shouldn't go no further. If you do have the people skills, then you're up for the challenge. And this ain't a hard challenge. This is already there. You're just picking the money up off the ground. Literally, everything's there. You're making the phone calls. I mean, it's literally that easy. They need your equipment. That freight doesn't move itself. Okay, and you got to understand why the market is what it is. I will literally teach you how markets work. Okay, yeah, it's like knowing that it's a spot market day. That means it is in your advantage for that given day. You can basically name any price you want, and they really know if they want that freight moved, they better listen to you because you're the capacity. Capacity is that you have the equipment to move that given product. Remember, we provide a service. We're getting their stuff from point A to point B. We don't produce nothing. Okay. But anyways, these are the numbers that you can make being a dispatcher. So, and don't believe me, you don't know me. Okay. Get in there and research this. Look at the numbers and then come back and say, thank you, George, for pressing that on my neck. You're welcome. I want to see you achieve. I want you to see you be successful. Because if you're not successful, it does nothing. It does not help me at all. I need you to take this full heartedly and let's make you a success.
All right, how can I get started? I mean, start earning. The biggest thing you're gonna get started earning is one is come to class. Okay, being in class is how you get started earning money because I'm immediately gonna start giving you truck drivers. I have a database that's humongous because inside our criteria, you got a 30-day window where you got to start generating carriers. We're going to give you everything. You ain't got to look for nobody. All you do is make a phone call. I'll tell you what you need to do when you're presenting to the carriers, well, what can you do for me? I've already got a list of what you can do for them, and they know for a fact when you get done with them that you're offering better than most carriers. One, you're individualized. That means you're not off here, off there. You're not running around the office. That's the biggest thing I hated about being in an office was I couldn't take care of my people correctly because I always had somebody in my face. Even when you walked by my desk and you say, "Hey, George, good morning." I appreciate it. Okay. I'm grateful that you recognize I'm there, and I'm grateful that you feel whatever enough toward me that you're going to reach out and say good morning. But you just interrupted my train of thought. Okay. You do that 3 or 4 times in the morning, and I start getting bothered because I need to take care of my drivers. Most of my work is done in the morning because I know once those load boards, the loads are starting to pull away and it starts getting thinner. My choices and selections for getting my men and women lined up, it goes down and down. But that's the reason it's so important that you have to subsidize with direct shippers. And we'll go over all this. I know I don't want to throw a lot of terminology out there. The biggest thing is presenting a program and see if you're interested. But as far as earning money, I can get you immediately start to making money. But you just got to, trust the system. You know how they say trust the system. I don't like telling nobody that because I don't trust the system. But if you trust the system, I will get you moving and get you active almost immediately. Even for my truck drivers out there, you need to start pulling all those contacts. You got a list. You need to, when you stop in the evening to shut down or whenever you do stop, get that piece of paper out and start writing down everybody you know, every bill of lading you got. Start getting the ones that you know that paid real well, and get ready to go to work because you are now changing the game from being a trucker to actually being a dispatcher. But anyways, we'll go deeper into this. I'll teach you all the ins and outs on how to get this done and be successful at it.
Now, as a freight dispatcher, you need to expect one potential lead out of every 10 to 15 prospects that you reach. No way. That number right there is for people that are not doing this market right. I'm literally giving you all of your prospects. I've got a database that's out. It's just unbelievable. So I'm giving you that with those prospects, their name, their phone number, their email, everything's there. Okay, so you don't have to worry about this. Your prospects are already lined up for you when it comes to generating your drivers, and when it comes to generating your direct shippers. I'm going to teach you how to do that. You've got drivers. If you communicate with your drivers, they've already got the bills of lading. Okay, because remember, you get your rate confirmation, you get your bills of lading, the bill of lading turns into the proof of delivery. And those drivers, you're going to know what that driver is actually making because you're going to reverse engineer those numbers. Because if you know that a broker takes 20 to 30%, you're going to re-add that money back into that bill, and that tells you what the original value of that bill is actually was at a minimum. And then you're going to backtrack that bill and you're going to talk to that overall shipper and you're going to see what they need. First, you got to find out what do they need. And by knowing what they do, when you talk to that logistics coordinator for that particular company, that's going to give you the opportunity that you can kill this 10 to 15 prospects. I'm going to teach you everything. I'm going to teach you the dirty tricks of how to actually be successful inside of being a freight dispatcher. And we're talking about 6 to 9 months minimum required to start seeing a decent profit. I can't wait around 6 to 9 months. I don't know about you, but I was ready to go to work yesterday, right? So we're going to knock this out too, because you need to go ahead and start having these people lined up. As long as whatever you've got, whether it's dry van, reefer, flatbed, or step deck, I'm going to watch your numbers. I'm literally going to be helping you as you go through, because there's a chance if I see you're good enough, I'm probably just going to pull you into work with me. Okay. So I'm going to be looking at these numbers, and anything that I see, it's called trimming the fat. I'm going to get rid of your problems and hand you the solutions. I'm not just a person that sits in the background. I engage you as a dispatcher to help you. I need your questions. I need to be able to provide you with those answers. I would love to hear what you have to say. Maybe you've got something that's totally magnificent, but you don't know how to approach it in a in an analytical way, whether it's objective or objective, in order to approach that particular problem in the right way to get your foot in the door, or how to negotiate it with maybe the driver. Remember, you've got 4 different things you're dealing with: shipper, broker, your carrier, and the trucker. Okay, you got 4 different moving parts, and you got to make that cohesive across there. You are the crossroads. Okay, you know, making the deal with the devil down there at the crossroads like they do down in Mississippi, right? So you're at the crossroads. So basically, you're the devil. You're making these deals, okay? You ain't got to show your horns all the time, but sometimes you have to put a little bit of swing on what you're having to say, because you have to perpetuate everything to keep moving forward. You can't let it stagnate. This is logistics. Our biggest conflict of interest is, one, the people, and time. Time runs everything. We're on a limited clock during that day. We got to get it done and get it done immediately. So I will help you learn how to maneuver around these different problems and give you ideas. And don't be afraid to ask me. I mean, there's never a bad question. Just always ask me, and I'm here to help you.
Now I put this in here so you'd make it make more sense to you. See this gentleman? This is an owner operator. Okay, he's on the CB. He's got that steering wheel in his hand. He doesn't have time to look for those loads. He's got that CB. He's got that steering wheel. He's got that GPS up there in front of him. He's having to pay attention on both sides of his truck and look out that front windshield to keep that 80,000 pounds in that road. That's why you are so important. You're right there, looking at your computer, looking at your book, looking at your little black list of who you got. You know, of course, now you probably won't need a pen and a paper because you got everything on computer. Once you get everything in your system, then your computer can actually even be used on your phone. But you're going to be building up a network where you're looking for this gentleman here, whether he's on a load or you know when he's going to get there and be unloaded. You're always going to be working with this guy, trying to get him what he needs so he can get that next load and keep that truck moving. Now join our winning team. We are a winning team because I'm already networked. Okay, my company is networked. The people that I know with in the network are networked as well because we have close relationships, right? Now, you'll enjoy the following benefits as a driver with Truck Driver Nation. This is a presentation that you're giving to your drivers. So when you're telling them, look at what you're offering these guys. And this is just like a little scratch. There's more details. I couldn't put it all in here because it'll just be too much. $5,000 bonus. They're going to love it. No forced dispatch. Go where they want to, how they want to, because they own their trucks. They're going to love it. Even if it's a company driver, you as a dispatcher, you can give that driver some of these options, okay? You ain't got to force that boy out there to run wherever you don't want to go. But anyways, 75%, this is on all loads delivered. Okay, that's what he's saying that they're overall going to be. This is for like a lease purchase, so they're still making great money. A dedicated dispatch team, let's even stop there. You are his dispatch team. You know who you got in the background to help you to assist finding these loads when you need them, okay? You've got the people that I'm telling you to network with, even in the school while you're attending the program. Network, 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 network. You ain't got to look for these networks. They're going to be coming at you so fast, but you're the one that's got to remember to take down the numbers and take down the names and take down what they're doing and put it in your computer to understand how that's going to benefit you. Because you can literally put in any keyword if you put it in whatever document you're going to put it in, whatever application. So you can look them people up instantly. Hey, I need this. Let me throw my keyword in there. And now I've got them. There they are. Hey, send them out a message, give them a call, whatever you need to do, and get that load handled. This doesn't have to be a full day job, okay? You've got 7 to 10 trucks. Every truck's not going to be needed to be loaded every day or unloaded every day, okay? So if you stay ahead of your trucks, your 7 to 10 trucks will be easy to maintain, especially if you've got people you know what they want to do. So communicate with your drivers and make sure you understand what their needs are so you can keep them busy on those routes. Now, obviously, when you're presenting this thing, when we're coming to our carrier, you got discount on fuels, insurance, you got plate programs. We got so much to offer the drivers for those drivers that don't have this, because some drivers don't have their own authority, and we'll go over that further in detail as we go through the program. But what I'm trying to show you is you are connected with everything. I hope this makes a picture to you of how well connected and what you're doing, okay? You are a dispatcher. You are working with these drivers and the brokers and the shipper and the carrier. But the biggest thing is your base core component that makes you who you are and as strong as you are is your drivers. Okay, there's brokers all over the load boards. You ain't got to worry about finding a load. You can always call brokers and tell them what you need, and they'll come up with something. Post your board on your DAT board. We'll go over that further. I don't want to get too far off track.
Let's talk about the benefits of being a dispatcher. The benefits of being a dispatcher are not only going to include what I'm fixing to give you, but it has to do with your over ability to dynamically think. Okay, you take what you're learning and you think of different approaches. And I brainstorm with you. I am a brainstorming fool. I'm always looking at different things inside the context of what I do for a living. I don't want to be conventional. Conventional is the same reason why people are having the same old paychecks week after week and they're not going forward. There's so much and it's so open to what you can do outside of and being a dispatcher. And if you bring these things to whoever your carrier, like whoever your boss is, let's just put it that way, they're going to want to listen to you. Say, hey, I came up with something. I think this is a great new approach. It minimizes advertising dollars, or it generates this, or, I got this approach when it comes to direct shippers. You've got 4 different things, remember, you're dealing with. Shipper, that's the person making the money before that freight even moves anywhere. Whatever they produced and they need it to be moved, that's who you're starting with. Second thing, broker. Is it going through that broker or not? If it's not going to that broker and you manage to get that direct shipper, excellent. Now you're making all the money. Next thing, your driver. What does your driver need? Where does he want to be? Where does he want to go? When does he need off? All that. You understand those things. And the person that you're actually the most responsible to is your carrier. Unless you're an independent freight dispatching company, your carrier is going to be looking at you to make sure that you're meeting the numbers to keep that gross revenue up. So not only is the driver profitable, but the carrier is profitable. So that being said, now let me tell you the best thing about being a freight dispatcher. There it is. If you can look at this real quick, you'll already know what I'm going to say. Okay? Basically, they're highlighting it. Start, learn, build. But the best thing about all of it is every one of them, money instantly, straight out the gate. You'll always, it allows you to start making money instantly when you become a freight dispatcher, even before you even start going to work with the carrier. Well, I'm going to get you working immediately. Okay. When you come to school, you're already going to be working. You're going to be learning the program, and I'm going to show you what you need to have where you can go ahead and start cutting the fat off the meat, right? We want you to be ready to go out there. As soon as you get that certification with me, I want you to have what you need in your hand so you're automatically making money, okay? It allows you to learn the business while you are making money. We are going to breathe and live. Basically, you're learning dispatching, right? But you're also learning recruiter. But I'm also teaching you the other facets. I'm teaching about the shipper. I'm teaching about the broker. I'm teaching you about the carrier that you're going to be working with, what they expect. And I'm going to be teaching about your most necessary tool, and that is your driver. Okay? I am 100% pro truck driver because without the truck drivers, the lights do not stay on. Okay? Now, it also allows you to build your book of business. Book of business while you're making that money. That book of business, that is your resume. I don't care if you've killed somebody. You got a good book of business, anybody will take you. Okay? You're probably not going to go to work for anybody at that point. You're probably like, hey, why am I going to do this? I built my book of business. I built my book of business. They didn't build my book of business. So why should I give them the advantage of utilizing me when I can do this myself? But some people don't like that. They rather just keep it simpler. I have a great book of business. It's easy for me to keep my freight moving. I've always got my drivers with really well-paying freight on it, and they're satisfied with being at a carrier. It just depends on you. But the one common thing with all three of these points about being a freight dispatcher is that you are making money. Okay? Making money. So make sure you keep that in mind. If you're not making money, you need to put the brakes on. You need to get on that phone, and you need to call me because there is something considerably wrong. There's no reason that you should ever have to beg for a job or anything in transportation. Nothing moves without us, okay? Your job is printed in stone when you become a freight dispatcher. You don't have to ever worry about ever begging for a job again.
Now, to learn freight dispatching, this is going to change your life. And the thing is, when you're learning it, you're learning more than one skill. I can tell you, yeah, you're learning dispatching, but you're learning a lot more than dispatching. Dispatching is a process of pulling a load, sending it to a driver, and telling them, hey, here's your next load. With our training course and our direct hire program, you're getting access because we are different than everybody. We're not a training. When I tell you we're a training program, you're really missing the picture. In fact, you're missing out on a lot of important aspects that you really need to brainstorm. For one, you're getting two skills. Okay, I'm teaching you how to be a dispatcher and how to be a recruiter because you're recruiting carriers, you're recruiting direct shippers. You're bringing them in, and they're going to be a part of your network. You're not recruiting them and then just giving them away to somebody. This is what you get out of this. Whatever you put in this, you're getting out of it. I hope that really paints a solid stone cold picture right there. You're learning multiple levels of what it takes to be in logistics. And when you get done, you'll never need a job nowhere else. Now, this is an opportunity to practice both skills with a legitimate carrier. Look, our company, either which way you want to say, look, we've been around a long time. And all the people that I work with and I'm connected with, excuse me, they've been around a long time too. So don't take, when you're jumping on board, oh, well, this is it seems like a startup. I don't know what you're thinking about startup. Me, myself, I've been in the industry 30 years. I was 27 years as a driver, another 7 years as a recruiter, and then mixed in between that, I've owned my trucks and all that good stuff, so I had no choice but to learn dispatching. Because if I didn't dispatch my equipment, not everybody's great dispatchers. You have to learn to defend your ground. So you're getting the opportunity to walk right in the door with me right there beside you, giving you the access to everybody. Because I've already prearranged all of this. This ain't something we're going to do as we go along. It's already handled. The only thing we're waiting on you is to get the program done so we know you know what you're doing. When I get done giving you the program, you're going to know dispatching. I have no choice but to make it a little bit hard because the thing is, you're working from home. I don't need you to have to call me. I need you to know what you need to know so you can be effective. So this is an opportunity to make money while you do all of this. So even immediately, as soon as you get out, as soon as you start, you're automatically going to start working at your home. It'll be almost like homework, but the homework you're doing is actually going to have an in-game product. Your in-game product is you're already going to be building your carriers, and I'm giving you all the leads. So I hope that gives you a better idea of what I'm really trying to press on you because I've seen so many people. Man, I talked to this person. They had a dispatch school, and I went through it and did this. Even I took a dispatch and broker school.
I don't want to throw too much on you, but I'm going to teach you some of the basics of brokerage. I need to because you're going to need it. But the thing is, I went to a school, I went through it, and I was like, well, I learned a couple of things, but for the amount of money, because I paid, when I paid, okay, I found one that was 3,500 bucks. I was like, oh, hell no. Ain't no way I'm paying that much money to go to no dispatch school. So I finally found one. It was accredited, the whole 9 yards. And I mean, for me to go to it, I was like, well, I've done this for so many years. I think it's worth me going just to make sure that I have all my T's crossed, my I's dotted. I know that everything that I'm doing is verbatim correctly. And so I paid $2,500 out for this school. They should have gave me my 3/4 of it back. It just was not worth it. But I completed the school. I got my certification too, and I don't know. Do I regret it? I mean, what it did is it made me, when I developed the school here, the program that we're doing now, that I fixed all the problems that were just there. Whoever owned this program, those schools were just lazy. They didn't care about the dispatcher. They sure weren't giving you a job. And they sure didn't give you access to drivers and everything that you're going to need once you get done. I mean, as you do the program, not once you get done, as you're doing the program. But anyways, that's another story. That's the short version of it. But we're teaching you everything. When I say 2 skills, it's really more like really 3. I mean, because you're learning more than one aspect of this for me to make sure that you know what I need you to know what I know. That's really what I need you to do. But we're going to do the course, and I've set the criteria out. But I'll give you as much as my knowledge as I can, and I hope if I can get at least 85% of it to stick with you, you're going to be a strong, strong dispatcher and somebody that I want to know. Now, this is definitely going to be the only freight dispatching course that actually hires you coming done when you're getting done with the program. If you don't want to work with me, I completely get it. You want to do a dispatch service. I'll totally support you on that, but I still want to do business with you. But when you get people that are saying, well, I'm going to give you a job when you get done with the school, uh, even the program I went through promised that, and I actually applied for it and went through their whole process, and it just kept wanting money and more money. Man, they were drawing money out of me. They weren't trying to help me. They didn't give a crap who I was. I just was. I knew at one point I recognized I was a number, and that's when I stopped. Okay, I was like, enough. I'm sorry, I'm already connected in the industry. I thought maybe I'd make some better connections because they had a program where it had like I can't even tell you, just thousands of trucks, right? And it was and different types of carriers and stuff. But I don't even think they knew the people. I mean, I tried to call them, I couldn't get through. It was just too many red flags. So when you're doing this, you're coming directly to work with me. I am attached to the carriers that you're going to know about, and the reason I'm attached to them because I was a driver recruiter. I'm still recruiting for them actually. And if you want to be a driver recruiter, by the way, I'm not throwing this in the middle of it trying to confuse you. If you want to recruit drivers, if you get people calling, hey man, I need a job. I just ain't got the time to be a dispatcher or whatever that might be. Give them a job. Let me know. I'll give you the information. You make a couple thousand off some of them, because that's what they pay for being a recruiter per driver. Let me know and we can help you out that way. But this is what we're doing here. I need dispatchers. So a dispatch agent. Now, basically it's saying, do you have the exceptional skills when it comes to helping others? You got to have those abilities to deal with other people, personalities, different walks of life. Do you enjoy dealing with new challenges every day? You are a problem solver when it comes to this industry. Everybody's looking for you to solve the problems when it comes to their freight. Now, working from the comfort of your home and the settings of and setting your own schedule, if you are that type of person, you can maintain that level of understanding that you've got to be able to be at home in a quiet environment where you're not being distracted, so you can actually do what you're doing while you're setting your own schedule, and everybody knows you're there every day from that time to that time, so they can depend on you. Then you're definitely good for this. And so what you need to do is apply for our dispatcher role and become a part of our division today. We will train you with everything that you need to know. I keep saying we're training because training is everything. Train, train, train. The more you train, the more you learn. It's not going to be overnight. Don't think I'm going to make you, come unscrewed. I'm not trying to shove you through the university. I'm trying to make you a dispatcher. And that's what my goal is. So anything you need, don't be afraid to ask. There is no dumb questions. So please ask. All right, with your certifications. So yeah, you get the benefits of certifications, okay? Now certifications offer a way that you can prove that you have the skills you say you do. In addition, they also prove a validation of your knowledge. You increase the marketability when you're applying for jobs. Increase earning power because you do have that history and do have that knowledge. Improved reputation because who are you attached with? I'm not boasting about myself, but you're attached to me. I got a very strong ear when it comes to the carriers inside the transportation community. I'm not with every carrier, but I'm with a lot of big ones, a lot of strong ones. Um, Enhanced academic performance. Absolutely. You're going to realize that this is, should have been what you should have done your whole life. You know, and the thing is, you don't have to stay at home. You can go anywhere you want. As long as you know what you're doing and you're taking care of your drivers and the company you're with, you are a work from home. Go to other countries. Who cares? Enjoy yourself. Just be safe. Make sure you got internet, your computer, and your headset. You're good to go. You know, make sure you're there for your drivers. When you get ready to travel, make sure you got your load scheduled out. Or by that time, you probably developed a team yourself and you got people that can cover you while you're on the move. But when you get done, we do give you a test. It's pretty tough. So you got to make it 85%. So make sure that you are ready to go. Now, as far as having to be in class, absolutely. I 100% want you in class. I don't like it any other way. But for those drivers that just can't make it, I put everything on video. Every class I have is on video. You're going to get to see those. So you've got access to the same information that we're doing in class for that week. I had to because you guys are getting stopped at crazy times. I know what it's like to be a truck driver. I am a truck driver. So when you get shut down and you just couldn't make it, get on the videos. When you're riding, it's a video. You ain't got to watch the video. Turn it on. Turn it into an audio book. Listen to the content so you can hurry up and get your stuff squared away. I know it's easier for you guys because you're already in logistics, so it's not going to be such an uphill battle, but make sure you cover the content. So you may not, it may be the one question that you need it for the test so you can get past. Because I can't let you go forward without passing that test because I have to know you know what you're doing, okay? Now, once you receive the certificate, let's say through Truck Driver Nation, you obviously got to pass with 85% or higher. You can take the exam more than as many times as needed. That I was doing that and I had to stop it. So you don't get to do it as many times as you need it. I give you 3 times. 3 times and you struck out. You just don't know the content. I had somebody just kept playing and playing and playing and they never passed it. And I was like, man, dude, I don't know what you've done, but you did not learn this content. They kept thinking they was going to get luck of the draw because every time I changed the test, I mean, you do another test. It's a different set of questions. It's not the same test. So please be advised, really learn the material. Now, this is what's going to be expected. Now, once you do the program, you'll take your final exam. Okay, we've completed the course. You got your exam done, and so now you got your certification. Okay, you're certified. You are now a dispatcher trained by Truck Driver Nation. And once you do that, then we're going to knock out your paperwork. So you'll have to do all your paperwork, your W-9, your direct deposit, your application, your resume, your agent agreement. It's about maybe 7 things that you have to do. Once you get done with that, now you're ready to go to work. Even though you're already probably going to be working and already have drivers moving, that's when I get you on with us because you got to have the paperwork. Everything's a paperwork, right? So that first 30 days, you're going to be a dispatcher, but you are going to be generating your overall carriers. Okay, when we say carriers, that's anybody that has their MC. And I've got plenty of information where you can get these folks. Now, once you complete that 30 days, you're going to move into the second set of a 60-day trial period where now you have everything that that carrier has because if you're not going with me, you're going with a carrier. And I look at the same profile. If you're not producing nothing in 30 days when we're giving you everything, it's hard for us to trust to make sure you're serious because we start handing you all of our databases, because now we've done an agreement and everything. Um, what makes it, what are you showing us that's telling you that you're going to be successful? What I'm telling you is what you put in this is what you get out of it. We got to make sure that you are 100% solid. If you really want to be a dispatcher, we're probably going to shorten the 30 days up and bring you on in full time if we see you're on ball. But we're going to teach you even about recruiting. Maria, she's going to give you a short 1-day presentation on how to recruit people, give you everything. So you ain't got to guess at any of this. We're covering all the bases. So don't let nothing in the back of your mind creep up and say, well, I don't know this. That's what we are here for. She's actually a teacher, okay, a real teacher. And she will be the one to actually teach you about recruiting. I teach the course because I know dispatching backwards and forwards. If I had my choice, she would teach it. She is a really pleasant person to be with, and overall, the depth of knowledge, she is so fine-tuned to make sure you understand everything in the presentation and she's great at answering every single question. You're going to love her. But don't worry, we got you covered on everything to make sure that you're successful. People always want to know, you're ready to start. Well, when do you start? Every week we start classes. I haven't got no choice. Got so many people wanting to be dispatchers that that's what it takes. It's going to take you, excuse me, it's going to take you 4 to 8 weeks to complete this course. Okay. Yeah, that's super short. Yes. Reason it's super short because we fine tuned it. I need you to know what you need to know. Now remember, you got a 4 to 8 week course. When you go to work, now you still remember you got mentoring. You're going to be learning. All right. Every day I should be hearing from everybody that has completed the course because you should be working. Okay. Well, my thing is you're on Telegram because we use Telegram. With Telegram's application, you'll have to download it. We're connected with all the carriers. We're connected with everybody. Dispatchers, everybody's connected, right? So once you get done with that course, now you start asking questions, whatever it is. If I say it's a more in-depth question, I got a thing on there. I can send you a short video of me actually talking to you at that for that given question. And if I send it to you, that means I just answered your question live, right? Instead of tying us both up trying to do a video conference, there's your answer. And if you have another question to that, send it to me and I'll answer that one. But but we got you covered. Like I tell you, once you say you're like, man, this the best company I ever went for. We have went beyond the bounds to make sure that you're successful. If you're not successful, why would we be doing this? It's going to hurt us because we're going to be connected to you. Okay, as far as you're concerned, from now on, Truck Driver Nation is part of your network. But remember, I'm a dispatcher. I teach this course, but I am an active dispatcher. I work just like you guys. Now, you must have the entire onboarding process to be eligible to start. Yes, everything that Maria tells you got to have it done. If there's anything not done, then everything's based on contracts and based on the paperwork that we need because we got to make sure you're sticking with it. You're going to see that so many people tell you such a line and they don't do what they're supposed to do. We don't have no choice. This is what our career is. This is what we do for a living. So get everything done and you're ready to go. We do an on-board meeting on the start date. It's mandatory. You have to, one thing, look, you have to be there, okay? Don't delay. If you do not attend, then you probably won't get in that class because if you're not there on time for what we're asking you to be on time for, only the few things that we're asking you to be there on time for, then how are you going to actually be a dispatcher? Because dispatching is time sensitivity. Them drivers need you to be there when they need you, okay? That is your job, is to be there for them guys. So when we ask it, the only one we're asking for is the onboard meeting. The rest of them, it's your money. If you spend it how you want to spend it, but if you're in class, you'll learn a lot more because we got Q&As at the end of each class where you not only do we ask questions and answers, but you also get to intermingle between each other and start networking, okay? But that first class, you got to be there, okay? Now, the first 30 days are spending your first 30 days. Once you complete the course, you're going to completely be spending them on focusing on recruiting direct shippers and carriers. And it says or both. You're going to be doing both. But, you got the load boards, which you're going to be basically you're going to be feeding your freight off of. But I'm going to show you how to get your direct shippers. You're trying to bypass the broker. Are you going to use brokers? Yes, absolutely. But you got to try to bypass your brokers because you need that direct freight. It really makes it makes people drivers where they want to stick with you because they're like, hey, he gets direct freight because they know they're making more money. Because a broker takes 20 to 30% off. So let's say, for example, $1,000. If he's taking 20 to 30% off, so what, you're making $700? Sometimes they're making more than that, taking more than that off. So, that's $700 that you just got taken off that load because somebody else, found that direct shipper and they did the paperwork. And I promise you that is not worth it, okay? You can bypass these brokers and get direct shippers. So now you got another $300. So if you're doing, let's say if you can do that, just take that times 7, that's $2,000, $3,000 they took off of your loads for the week. You see how bad it gets? That's $3,000 a week. Dude, that's $12,000 for the month. So yeah, they take a lot. So you've got to be aware of these things. But we'll teach you everything about this. But I just want you to understand. I give you a little bits of here and there. Don't take it and let it freak you out. I'm going to teach you to be a killer dispatcher. Like I said, we want you on our team. If you want to be a dispatcher, we want you on our team. All right, future dispatcher, do you want a sneak peek inside? What we do right now for a limited time offer, we're giving you the first chapter. Take that thing, look it over. It's not that it's going to be totally intensive, basically it's just what is it really to be a dispatcher, right? It starts to introduce you into the business of what we do and what you are as a dispatcher. But lots of people want to know what the course content is. That's not an issue. Let us know. We'll email it, or we got it in PDF as well, but we can send that over. You can take a look at it. That same format that is in that chapter 1 is the same format it presented throughout that whole book. It basically goes through the content, then you're followed up with actual quiz questions about that content. Then it goes into the video presentations because we always have everything on videos. Then it has accessories, like different type of things that might be in relation to like FMCSA, things that would help you understand that chapter, or things that you might want to know that you're able to fall back on those when you have to find some information concerning a particular matter. And then it's got some additional things after that, like thinking outside the box and other stuff like that helps you overall start thinking, I'm a dispatcher now. For one, you got to get your head into it. You are a dispatcher. You sign up for this course. I don't care what else you were doing. That's just holding you over. If you're still having to work it until we finish this course, you are now a dispatcher. Unless you just walk away from this, there's no reason that you're not a dispatcher. All right, so what is a dispatcher? So what we're going to do, let's give you a quick basic understanding of what a dispatcher is. So maybe this will sink a little bit deeper and help you understand as we move forward, because if anything, we want you to know what you're getting into, so that way you can make a really good educated decision by the time you finish this presentation. Now, a dispatcher is a professional responsible for coordinating and managing the movement of resources, such as vehicles, personnel, or information in transportation. Your main duties often include: 1, communications, very important. You're relaying information between different parties, such as the drivers, brokers, shippers, and carriers. Scheduling, everything's time sensitive. So organizing and scheduling routes or assignments to ensure timely delivery of service, or it's delivery or pickup, actually. It's both ends. Problem solving, you're going to do it every day, addressing issues that arise during operations, such as delays, for example. Monitoring, keeping track of the vehicles or personnel to ensure efficient operations. You're not babysitting, but you got ELDs, micro trackers, and stuff like that. You're going to be monitoring your equipment to make sure where that $300,000 piece of equipment is at and that multi-million-dollar load. So you got to keep track of that. Data management, maintaining and updating records related to operations such as calls, routes taken, and transportation times for performance and evaluations and compliance. This here, you'll learn more about this inside the course itself. There's a lot of different factors depending on the type of trailer you're working with, of what you're keeping loaded, and the type of freight that you're actually moving. This right here is going to be the dispatcher training course. And here this outlines the overall chapter titles. This is mainly the videos. The content that's in the chapter is obviously, it's a lot longer than this. But we highlight the most important factors when we're dealing with stuff. Like, for example, we'll just start here. What is an authority? You need to know what an authority is, because if you're dealing with an owner-operator that has his MC, there's 3 things that you need to make sure. For example, you need to make sure he owns his business, that he has an LLC, that his under that business title, that is where his MC is at. That's his authority, okay? And the inside of authority, there's multiple things he's got to have to make sure that that's authority is active. And how long has it been active? There's questions that you're going to have to ask. In addition, does he own his own truck? Is he driving that truck, or is he actually got somebody else driving that truck? These are things that you're going to learn in each of the chapters concerning the stuff, learning the equipment, the accessories type of stuff. That, like, what does a flatbed need? What does a step deck need? Learning the EOS versus your ELD. That's the hours of service versus his logging device. Understanding load boards, how to find the freight, whether you're using DAT, truck stop, or another type of load board system. TWIC cards, when are TWIC cards needed? Okay. Hazmat. Are TWIC cards and hazmat the same thing? Because remember, a TWIC card actually gets you into the port. A hazmat is still under TSA. So which one's which, right? Oversized loads. When you're doing oversized loads, at what point does it have to be permitted? And what kind of permits do you need? And where do you get those permits? So each of these chapters has its own particular thing that you need to understand in order to be a freight dispatcher. And we'll go in depth in each one, really in depth, because you're going to know this backwards and forwards by the time I get done with you. Freight broker training course. Yeah, it's labeled freight broker training course, but what it is, we don't go through this heavily because it's not all in here. I only pulled out the points that are really important. So I need you to understand that you're a freight dispatcher, okay? Remember, who are you dealing with? The brokers. I need you to understand enough about what you're doing with a freight broker and how they operate so you can actually get an understanding of what it is in their head. Because that is the person, in a lot of instances, if you're pulling a lot of spot freight, you need to know how you can bring up that price, what he's saying, why is he saying it, what's in the back of his mind, right? To know when it's your turn as inside the dispatch, being a dispatcher, when it's a spot day. When they say it was a spot board day, that means you can almost name your price. Depending on what's going on, come out of that given region on the board to see what trend is. Yeah, you can go to DAT, you can go to the energy website, I think it's EIA, where you actually see the fuel prices. You can look at all these things, and that's great information to know to have an informed decision, right? But what if it's a spot freight day? Okay, those are not things that you're going to learn just by looking at data sheets coming from different profiles. You need to know when you're looking at that board, well, okay, this person's offering me X number of dollars, but I know I can get this much. And let them know. Yeah, you know it's a spot freight day. You know, they know that what it means. It's in your favor. So now you can start negotiating the price and maximizing those dollars because you have the capacity. And if there's not a lot of trucks and there's just so many loads, then you are the one in demand. Okay, those days do happen, and that's the areas you actually want to keep your trucks in. You always want to have it where you're able to negotiate the prices so you can maximize your overall gross revenue on your equipment at all times. Does that always happen? Of course not. But we're going to teach you some stuff about broken, basically the basics of it, so you can have functioning base knowledge of what you're dealing with when you're dealing with the brokers.
And then finally, we'll get into here where you get your final exam knocked out and, you know, your course completion. And then we'll start obviously doing the paperwork. We'll start doing the paperwork. If I see that you're going to make it all the way through, which everybody should. I mean, majority, unless something just tragic happens in your life, we don't have a lot of people that withdraw. Okay. Mostly everybody gets it done and we start getting them to work and everything's good. But every once in a while we get people that have health issues, or stuff like that, and they just, you know, their overall, I guess you know how it is. Sometimes it's your path, and something else changes your direction, and so they have to pull out. Now your overall Truck Driver Nation's mentoring program, you've got us for 90 days. Once you complete the course, 90 days, you have me to ask you any questions to help you on anything, whatever it is. It just don't have to be dispatch questions. If you're having a problem inside the logistics, then let me know. I have a lot of connections. I can help you out with whatever comes up. So let me know as these arise, and we'll definitely get you helped and get you headed in the right direction. So we're going over it again. This looks like Truck Driver Nation. We've got the 30-day trial period. That's when you're initially going as a dispatcher for a trucking company, okay? Now, during which you'll need to generate your own carriers. After this trial, you'll gain full access to the company's resource. After a total of 90 days, you'll become a full-time employee, but all positions are 1099. That means you're independent, meaning you will remain an independent dispatcher. Additionally, you'll receive mentorship from Truck Driver Nation for 90 days after completing the training program. So remember, you have us here to assist you. Now, Truck Driver Nation, we provide access to a comprehensive database of owner operators and truck drivers, ensuring your path to success is secure if you're willing to put in the effort. You'll have the tools to connect with drivers seeking a freight dispatcher to keep their trucks loaded. Completing the certification program not only earns you a certificate, but also makes you a part of a supportive team at Truck Driver Nation, dedicating to helping you succeed. Because you're succeeding, we're succeeding. Okay, that's the whole principle behind this. Um, it's if you're not doing good, how is that benefiting us? Because we have trucks too. We need to work with you. What do you know? Because if I don't have, let's say for example, I'm having a problem loading a truck. I'm just in a bad spot. I'm going to send out a message to everybody I know. So it doesn't mean I make the money off of it. You actually make the money off that truck for that day because you gave me the load. But at least I don't make my owner operator upset where possibly losing one of my drivers because he's like, George, you could keep me busy, and I'm failing to do so because something messed me up for that day. So that's but thing is, if I send you a message, you don't have nothing. You don't have to answer. Silence is
virtue type of thing. And there's no sense in wasting each other's time because time is a very precious commodity when it comes to dispatching. But if you got something, get back with me and I'll see if it matches what we need, we're looking for. And if it works, then we'll get that driver loaded up with that particular load. That's the reason networking and communicating is so important. All right. From this right here, you can obviously tell I was teaching brokerage, right? I'm not teaching brokerage because me personally, dispatching is just a lot better field to be in because of who I'm dealing with and the companies I'm dealing with. I can't have two masters. So dispatching is what I chose out of the two. So when you're looking at this, ignore the brokerage one. Just you're looking at the basic plan for dispatch, the deluxe plan for dispatch, and the premium plan for dispatch. So what we do is we allow you to get services through us because it's just so much cheaper. Go price if you want to. We're talking about $400 or $500 for doing this. So let us know which package you want to do. You got to have a company email. You've got to have an ITS or TMS, right? You've got to have a deluxe plan. And when you're dealing with this, I'm sorry, you've got to have a load board, okay? So for the deluxe plan, we added truck stop on there. If you want the premium plan, because DAT is extremely expensive. In fact, I think it's they call it DAT1 now, right? DAT has a lot of different load boards and has a lot of information. My personal opinion, DAT is the best. So remember, you got to have a company email, you got to have the ITS or TMS, you got to have a load board, at least one. There's a lot of free ones out there, unless you're doing a 3PL, which is a third-party load board. Those are only good so far. You really need your own load board so that way you can function inside the market. There is a $99 initial setup. There ain't no way around it. That is what it is. And when I suggest everybody, because they say, well, why do I got to pay $99? Please go look at what they're charging, and then you will come back humbly saying, man, thank you for having that set up. That was just a lot of money. Yeah, it is. But when you come to work for us, there's certain tools that you've got to have, okay? So don't stress out about it. It's just the way it is. You're going to use these so much. You're literally going to, when you've got this right here, you're going to be using these boards almost, basically 7 days a week. I mean, this is where you live. This is your world here now. Your email, besides your phone, you're tracking your loads and your load boards. You're going to learn to use, you're going to know everything about it. And I also train you on the truck stop and the DAT boards, so you know how to use it. When it comes to ITS, depends on who you're going with. Everybody, like some people use Monday, all kinds of different boards. So they'll train you on their software. They've not asked me to train you up on it, so we skip that. Now, unless you're coming with me and I decide to pull you, because I'll pick out who I feel is going to be the best fit for me, because mine's more centered around personality than anything. I need alphas. I need go-getters. So, but anyways, we'll go through this and make sure that you understand what's necessary to know how to use this equipment. I shouldn't have said equipment. I should have said software. Sorry about that. All right, so this is going to be grab the chance. Now, what we got is an affiliate program, and the reason we got one is because we got so many people that bring their friends, to come to the program, and so why not make money off of your efforts? Okay, nothing in this life is for free, right? So we give you 20% of whatever it is, whoever you're sending for us. Okay, so just make sure if you know you're going to be sending people, or if you think you're going to be sending people in the future, don't miss it. Sign up for the affiliate program. You get a code and everything, but we'll go over right now how it works. But make sure you don't miss for signing up for the affiliate program. We've also got TikTok where we do live TikToks. Make sure that you opt in for that when we send you the paperwork, so that way we know you're interested in signing up for TikTok, because that's another opportunity to social network with other logistic professionals. Okay, so how does the affiliate program work? There's 3 easy steps to start earning your commission based on your efforts. All right, so joining the affiliate program has never been easier. All you do is just takes a minute to sign up for it, and you get 20%. Okay, it's easy to make money doing this. And when you become an affiliate, we give you an ID. That's going to be your ID. So when you're sharing your links and all that stuff, and people are following or whatever, you're going to see what's being purchased, because it's going to go back to your dashboard that's associated with your affiliate ID. And we'll show you the dashboard here in a moment. Now, when somebody visits the link, whatever link you put out there that you've shared, and they make a purchase, then obviously you get 20% off that, and also any other recurring payments. So let's say if they get a service for, let's say for the overall, trying to think what we got that I can show you right now. Okay, let's just use, for example, doing the load boards and stuff. For that one, we don't have nothing with that because the price is so tight because we really needed to get it down because everybody needs that service. But if, for example, if it was something like that where they're recurring, they're buying something over and over because they need it as far as whatever they need to be a dispatcher, then they obviously you get 20% every time they purchase it. And you're going to see what the items are because they're going to be reflected on your dashboard. Okay, are there any fees associated with being an affiliate? Nope, all of it's free. You're already a part of the company. I mean, even if you're not, we let people become affiliates just because we got some influencers and stuff like that, and they do real well with us. So, you know, if you're just an internet geek, come on, we'll give you what you need to make money with us. It helps us and it helps you. Now, everything what this does is the cookies. They're kept for 120 days. That's so that you can understand that you still got purchases coming in, okay? So you don't lose no money. If there is an agreement that I need to accept before now to become an affiliate, all you need to do is agree to the terms and conditions of the affiliate program. There's a checkbox. Read down those, check it, say yes, and you're in. Okay, it's just like a contract type of deal. It's just an agreement because you're already in your account. So when you check it, you're agreeing to sign up for being an affiliate. All right, so this right here is the affiliate load board. So we do pay out on PayPal. We do also have to actually pay out on different methods. If you look right here at the right bottom corner, for this person right here, this is like one of the people I was telling you about. What they do is they market on the internet, and this is how they're making their money. So this person has done looks like almost 16,000 in sales. They're getting 20% of that. So for this example, they've made the Mountain Dew right now is $299.40. I'm not wearing my glasses. Okay, so the total amount for commissions, that's what they've made. That's not what they've sold. Okay, so when you're saying this, yeah, that's a lot, but they've done a lot of work. Okay, this right here would have been 32 customers, so they've done real well for themselves. Let's see, because they did the sales they did 15,969. The total number of commissions that they've made off of was 15,969. And let's see, completed payments. This what this is here on the right. This is the total amount that they've completed, right? So this 299, you have to understand that 299 is subtracted off there because these is not right here. This is what they've done, okay? And they're getting 20% of all these numbers. Whatever it is, you can figure up 20%. That's what they get. And when they see it, that's what comes through is the 20% of what you're doing. But this is your overall sales. Remember, there's other links here, like what your commissions are. This is the dashboard. So when you go to your commissions, that's where you're seeing what you're actually making. This is just the overall sales that they've done. So if you did, let's say if they did 15,009, so they made like, I don't know, that's what, 3,000 something dollars. Let's say that'd be, anyways, you can do the math, but this is your dashboard. This is what you have so that you can keep track of it. And anybody that hits your link, like this person's affiliate ID number is U3UGOR. So that's their number. So they put it on, when they send out their links, this is in everything. So when they click that link for whatever they're doing, it comes back to this affiliate ID and gets accredited on this board. Okay, so advance your career. Are you ready to become a work from home dispatcher? Okay, obviously we do have the best logistics training course. I mean, we got 100% success with everybody that completes it. For those that didn't complete it and they left because they had something happen in their family or whatever they were doing, because I get truck drivers too, they'll start doing it and I don't know, they just get a few of them. They just decide, I guess, they're being on the truck. I guess they like doing that better. You know, nobody ever knows when they try things. Um, a company will hire you after completion, absolutely. I'll show you the companies here in a moment. Um, and they're only going to hire you if you've actually been trained by me. You're getting a certificate that goes with your resume and with your application. If you're a truck driver, you won't be filling out a 10th Street. This will actually be a regular employment application going to the carrier. If you're seeing those carriers and you're a truck driver and you do want to go to work for them, let me know. I do still recruit for them as well, and we can get you on board. I can send you the profile. But anyways, back to the dispatching. This opportunity to be your own boss, you're absolutely your own boss because you're absolutely working from home. Now you do have, it's like a dispatch manager. You'll usually have a meeting every week where you and all the other dispatchers are on there, and you'll go over any issues that maybe you've had. And what they do basically do is they go through and ask you, how's everything going, okay? It's just the way it goes. Are there any things you see that needs to be brought to attention? Is there anything maybe we need to try to do better and that type of stuff? So you'll have meetings at least just once a week. Sometimes they do it at the beginning of the week before the party starts, or they do it at the end of the week. But whoever your fleet manager, I mean your dispatch manager is, that'll be who you'll actually be communicating with inside the carrier. If you're working directly with me, obviously we have our meetings once a week, and it'll be the same thing. All I need to know is I'm easier. Just tell me what the problems are. Let's get the problems fixed and keep you moving forward. What do you see that you should be improved? What do you have? What are your drivers looking like? And I don't touch your drivers, okay? Those are your people. I just need to know if you probably need to let one go. If you're having a problem, well, he's doing this, and whatever, and he's not wanting to. Yeah, it depends if you're working for me or you're working as an independent. So there's two different situations. We'll get into those later. But if you're having problems with the driver, I'll show you some of the ways I've addressed issues in the past, whether it's a company driver or it's an owner operator. Okay. Now we do have 10 plus years of experience. Now this is me personally. Okay, this reflects me. So let's not get that confused with anything else. And right now, this is me personally. I have 48 active dispatch agents. That's not including the ones that went with carriers. That's just the dispatch agents that actually are working with me. Some of them work part-time, like they only got like maybe 4 trucks, and then I got some that are full-fledged. They've actually got multiple layers. I got 3 of them that are actually about to become their own dispatch service. They're about there where they're ready to cut loose and get off into something else. Now, do we have the course that's right for you? In my personal opinion, and we're talking about that's a professional opinion, absolutely. Because one, I'm teaching you, okay? I do have some temporary, like part-time teachers that come in, but they're very skilled. They've been in logistics, some of them as long as I have. But this is definitely a good program. I mean, for $4.99, man, I'll take the Pepsi Challenge. You go out there looking for a course that beats us, and we're live and interactive. Some courses you don't even hardly hear from nobody. I mean, here's the course, learn what you learn, we'll get you passed, and off you go. Man, I don't need you, off you go. This is my career. I'm in logistics. I need you to be a part of what we do. So just take that into consideration when you're making this decision. You get lifetime access to the course. Whenever you need new answers, everything you need is inside our course book. And as things change, we update that book because we're actively in the field of logistics. It is self-paced, so the faster you get it done, the faster you pass the test, the faster you're ready to go. Okay. Now you got a list of about basically that's 100,000 direct shippers. Actually, it's more than that. But the thing is, when you're doing direct shippers, let me not trip you out on that. It's just that we got a big database because all the carriers that you're dealing with outside of me, remember, I've got my own business, but I'm connecting you with other carriers as far as going to work for. So now you have their access to their database too. And they've been in business as far as inside the trucking industry of owning big fleets a lot longer than I have, okay? I don't really do trucks no more. I'm just basically out of it. I do dispatching. And so when you're getting a hold of these folks and we're putting you with these companies, you've got a lot of assets if you understand how to use them. So keep that in mind. So now once you do complete the course, we do give you your certificate. This is your completion. This goes with your application and your resume. As you see, the certification ID is, I use something that's kind of like DocuSign. So it's a legal document. We have a mark on it that says you completed it on this date. So anybody ever gives you any problems, bull crap, because we got idiots out there falsifying stuff. They can pull your number up or just get back with us. We can pull your record up, and in your file we have all the tests that you've completed, everything that you've done with us, even stuff like when we're doing what I'm talking about, when we're actually bidding the brokers, because we're giving live calls to brokers, so you get time to interact, and I can critique you and help you where you're hurting at. You've got all this information that we keep on file to understand what you've completed, because I got a rolling index of what you've done, because everybody's at different levels. Because remember, this is self-paced. So when people are giving me notes to take, or we take notes. So when we're doing it, we're actually checking out where you're at. Has he done this? Has he done this? Because the best time for us to do it is right when we're on the phone or in class with you. We're checking off stuff of where you're at and what you're completed and what level you're at. Otherwise, we'd have no formatted system of understanding where you're at. I'm not just throwing scraps to people. I need you to learn this freight dispatching without a concise, because I did graduate from the university. I don't really throw that out there that much. So knowing how schools are structured, how contents, because I got 9 years out of school, and oh my God, I'd never do that again. But knowing that, I know how to keep track of all my information to make sure that you're in step with the criteria that we need to make sure you know. Because if you get the criteria done and you're still not passing the test, then we got a problem. Something's being missed. So just keep that in mind. But if you have any questions or concerns concerning this, please let me know. All right, so this is the overall breakdown of everything, okay? This is the complete process of everything. So you go from here through 10. This is all the stuff that you have to do to complete the course, okay? So you get your first 30 days of training. You download your first 30 days training, which that's going to be actually, it's going this first 30 days training when you're downloading, this is going to be what I've then turned around and started initiating immediately. Once you're in the program, I need you to start talking to your drivers, okay? And we'll go through it. Like I said, Maria's going to teach you on how to recruit drivers. But as far as the information, you'll need this stuff. Your core certificate, because I have to give that to them. Your driver's license, social. You don't need your medical card for drivers. You don't need the medical card no more. Now you're going to be a regular person inside of a regular environment that has a regular schedule. I know that probably feels weird to you, but that's the truth. Your application. If you got a resume, please send a resume. We'll clean the resume up for you. If you don't feel like it's good, we don't have no problem helping you out with your resume. You'll do your W-9. That means you're going to be independent. Your direct deposit, that's for your banking. Non-disclosure form, that's because you can't be taking this information that's coming from the carriers and just be passing it out. They're trusting you. You work from home. They can't watch what you're doing. But their systems, they know how to read their software and determine what's going on. Um, I personally don't have the money to take you to court, but these big trucking companies that I'm putting you with, they do. So please don't violate the non-disclosure. Agent agreement, that's you as a freight dispatcher. You are an agent because remember you're 1099. No refund policy. It's not for nothing else, but look, everything you paid $500 for the course and you're paying for your load boards and stuff. None of that's going to be refundable. I've had people say, oh, but I need to get a refund. I'm sorry, that won't happen on your best day. We didn't charge you nothing to actually take this course. $500 is nothing in the scheme of what it takes to train you. I'm not trying to be rude. I just want to be upfront for those that think they got secondhand thoughts. If anything, we've learned in trucking, especially being a dispatcher, is you will learn how to read scammers because we got something that's called double brokering. It's a bad problem these days. So, and we'll teach you everything how to keep your eyes open for double brokering and how to put them to the test to make sure that they're not trying to double broker your freight. Because if you double broker your freight, that means it went from the shipper to a broker to somebody else. It don't have to be a broker, whoever it might be. It might be another dispatcher they knew or whoever it is, and then they finally give it to the carrier. That went through almost 4 sets of hands. That's double brokering. That is against actual law. It's a federal law. They changed it, and it's actually, you can look it up under the FMCSA. And then when you're doing carrier packets, it'll literally say in there, you can't give that freight away to nobody, okay? That's freight that broker is assigning to you. You do anything else, you broke the law. But anyways, there is no refund policy when it concerns everything that you're investing into this. The $500 non-refundable and the monthly subscription. Now, obviously, let us know ahead if you don't need those subscriptions ahead of time before the billing cycle. The billing cycle on all those subscriptions have been basically we set them all up so they hit on the 7th. So if you let us know ahead of time before it hits the billing, we can shut it down without charging you again, okay? But make sure that you let us know, okay? Systems training certificate of completion. That's actually more of an in-house thing when it comes to the carrier because mine is the course certificate. This course training certification, that's going to be them teaching you their software because everybody's software is different. Even though you'll understand how it works, and one of the systems I'm using is with one of the carriers that I actually is still recruiting for. So since most people, I put a lot of people with them because they got a big fleet and they're growing fast. But you'll learn their software as well. But that's not really relevant to the course, but I just wanted to put that in there so you do know it. So it's going to be the very last one. It says Systems Training Certificate of Completion form, okay? So that means you're training. Remember, you're going to be on that. It's a 30-day probation, because before you get access to all their stuff, and then you're on a 60-day probation. Basically, at the 60-day, you can go and say you're actually kind of hired with them, but they're giving you 60 more days to make sure you keep performing at the level that you're performing. Okay. Look, if you don't fill your trucks, your drivers will leave you. Okay. So don't think it's going to be the company having to babysit you. Your drivers are babysitting you because that is the money that they're making because they're dependent on you. Just keep that in mind. It's not one person looking at you. You got everybody from every direction looking at you because you are that important inside the logistics community. Okay, these are our partners. We got King Arm, Gold Coast, Run Forest, and Logistics Solutions. I only put four of them up here. Um, everybody said, well, put them all up there. I would literally fill this page up. But these are the main ones that I deal with a lot on a daily basis. Actually, remember we recruit too. So we recruit for about 54 carriers. Depending on the dispatchers, I give out whatever companies you want to recruit for based on their profile. I just let them recruit for those. That's recruit the truck drivers for them, and that's fine. But you as a dispatcher, this is the ones I'm dealing with as far as being a dispatcher. Okay, the other ones are going to be for recruiting. So don't confuse the two. Remember, we recruit truck drivers and we're dispatching. I concentrate on dispatching. My wife concentrates on recruiting. So it's two different things going on. Okay. So, but anyways, these are the people that are actually our partners in transportation, and we actually got one more that should be up here soon. Actually, I'm actually having a meeting with them today. So whether you got this when I built this, which I guess it will be after the fact, but this should be updated hopefully here soon with a new carrier that will actually be taking drivers as dispatchers, which is really exciting. Okay, so we're not promoting Afterpay, even though it looks like it. My wife made this up, and the reason she did because she needed you to understand because she gets so many questions about Afterpay, and this is just literally a form of payment that pays us. Okay, you can look at Afterpay. It's basically buy now, pay later. It's got she goes over the flexibility, the instant approval, no interest fees, convenience, and all that. But I'm not even going to go over this. It has nothing to do with my company. This is just another method of making a payment for those that need an alternative because some people don't have all the cash because it's kind of hard on folks. But this right here, you can make a minimal payment. Some people don't have to pay nothing. It's like zero, and then you start paying after 30 days. Or it might have a small down payment. You pay it, and then you got every 30 days you'll make a payment, and it'll actually go all the way out to 12 months. So you're paying like maybe $38 a month or $29 a month, whatever it is. But this is apparently a big thing that's out there now, and even we didn't know about it until we started actually teaching at school and found out that everybody doesn't have the money to pay for class. So that's the reason we have this as an alternative, and which is great. Is you set yourself a payment. Hopefully you get the course done real fast, and you're already making money, so you don't really have to worry about the payment because now you have the money to make the payments. Well, I guess I'd say it wasn't advertising, but she put something else in here about Afterpay. So it says that, okay, no interest. Now you can do it, you can actually go down to make it down to four payments, absolutely. But just go in there and look at it. Like your purchase will be split into four payments payable every 2 weeks. That's for this instance, for this one she pulled out. Because I had tested Afterpay for myself, and I got approved, and they actually asked me for what was it, $58 down for myself, but my credit sucks. Okay, so don't judge me, but right now everybody's credit sucks. If you knew what was going on in the logistics community, we've had a big shift in overall everything. Thank goodness. Everything's picking back up. Fuel prices are going down. It's making things look a lot better for everybody. But anyways, this is Afterpay again. This was a firm. This is another one. We quit using them because it's just people were just not getting they approved as much as we thought. We didn't want to confuse people. We do have PayPal. We do have Zelle. So if you want to do Zelle, just let Maria know. She'll cover all these different payment programs. This ain't my job, so I don't really know how she does it all. It just doesn't interest me. I'm a dispatcher, but this is another form of being able to make your payments. Okay, your textbook. This right here is your textbook, okay? It has everything you can think about in it, okay? I actually wrote this book. I used Arthur Jesse Lane for those that are actually going to pick that out. That is my, what do they call it? Like a pen pal, or well, I'm not pen pal, but it's a name that you use instead of using your own name, because I didn't want to be arrogant about what I did. It took a lot of effort in this, and we're constantly having to update it to make it better, to make it more concise. Because I want when you're writing a book, one thing I found out about writing a book is you have to get the picture through in more than one perspective. If I just tell you a story, right, about, you know, the three little bears or whatever it is, the way I'm going to present it to you and the way somebody else is going to present it to you is going to be different. So as we go through the content, you have to have other things that you actually studied earlier in another chapter, but it's still relevant to something else in another chapter, to actually put it in a different format, so you're not just painting the same old picture. And if you paint it differently, then it can actually approach that same situation differently and make you think differently. So that's the whole thing, because as a dispatcher, you're a problem solver. And that's the whole thing behind what we're teaching you, is not just to dispatch the trucks, but how to handle the issues and be dynamically thinking on how to get that truck moving, because you're working from your home. You're not out there knocking doors. You're doing everything through your computer system. But remember, you have me for 90 days, so don't hesitate to ask questions. This is going to be my contact information as far as, getting a hold of us. Please don't hesitate. You got it through Telegram, which you should be getting Telegram. You got to have Telegram, or you're just going to have a hard time doing the course. But get Telegram. You can communicate through there. But this is all my personal information. Okay, this ain't got nothing to do with the companies I work for, because I have business emails and stuff as well through the carriers I work for. But anyways, I hope this helps as far as giving you some idea how to get a hold of us. That direct phone number and Truck Driver Nation emails, obviously, those are monitored by us here at the office every day, in addition to a bunch of other emails. But if you need to get a hold of me for questions, if you want to do a live conference, we use Google Meetings. So feel more than free to say, hey, I'd like to meet you on conference. Absolutely. I mean, let's have a meeting. Sometimes I have to turn it on just so I can show people stuff, because they're not getting it. And I'll turn it on. I'll go through examples. So remember, during your 90-day mentoring, you might have to get on there so we can show you some stuff to make sure that you're up to speed with what it is to be a dispatcher, or maybe some issue you're having. All right, this is the page we're looking for. So that's the presentation right there. I was saying in a nutshell, but that took an hour and 13 minutes according to the timer. But this is me. I'm George DeLorme. This is my phone number, and this is the email to get a hold of us directly. Outside that, you have any questions, concerns, any issues like that, please get a hold of us. Appreciate your time. I appreciate that you barreled through for an hour to watch the presentation. But all that information is totally necessary to give you an overall great picture and understanding of what's going on with the program, so you can understand you're getting what you pay for and then some. So I hope to see you in class, and we'll take it from there and leave it there. But everybody be blessed. Have a great day. For drivers out there on the road, please be careful out there, okay? If you're ready to come off the road, let's get you off the road, get you back into your household setting, and get you to dispatching fellow truck drivers.